gonna look around first.
You should have.
You bought it at one of those auctions where you don't get to look at them first.
I saw just before stream started, I saw a Twitter moment where some dude is selling a $30 million location in New Mexico. It's like self-sustaining. Like, he advertised it as like, if everything goes to heck, you can live here off the grid.
Wow. Why is he getting rid of it?
I already live off grid, man.
He said that he enjoyed building it, but didn't actually want to live there or something. It looked really neat.
He's just got interesting hobbies, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got enough money to build something like that, what else are you supposed to do?
Yeah, true.
Bum, 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 bum.
If you have that much money, you're just gonna have weird hobbies compared to the rest of us.
Yeah, I'd have totally normal hobbies if I was, like, Jeff Bezos rich. I'd buy off Masashi Kishimoto and then remake Naruto however I wanted. And I'd immediately, like, eliminate all Boruto from existence.
Good.
Yeah.
As it
Would you
should be.
make Sakura a good character or just remove her completely?
Please!
Ooh, that's a good question. That's actually a really good question.
If she actually was allowed to develop, and it would have been like I thought she was okay.
Because the thing is honestly, I think Naruto has its issues, but as it is like, it's about all. I'm not gonna say it's perfect because like nothing is, but like it's about all it could be for me. I would honestly probably not change much of anything other than I would make the very ending more ambiguous, so I like wouldn't, like chapter 700 wouldn't exist. The show would like end at 699, except I definitely would not have Sasuke do that thing where he like pokes Sakura on the forehead, because that was awful. But I would probably do that, and then I would just rewrite how Kaguya happened. Like, I wouldn't even remove Kaguya from like being in the story, I would just write it differently. Either I'd have like Madara gets beaten and then Kaguya shows up kind of thing, or I might even do like a little like minor Madara redemption thing leading into Kaguya, maybe.
Madara lives.
No, not Madara living, because I think Madara's death is like flawless. Like the way he like dies because of Kaguya is lame, but his final moments with Hashirama is honestly one of my favorite moments in the entire.
Oh, that's fair.
Where he's just lying there, like, slowly dying from having the 10 tails removed, and then Hashirama talks with him, and they're like, now we can drink like brothers or whatever. And then I think there's also a moment where, like, Madara's like, I should have passed on my will like you did, and then it, like, has a moment, when he says that, it's like Sasuke is standing in the background. It's really nice.
Bum.
So I didn't want that to be there. But, like, the way that he got betrayed by Black Zetsu and became Kaguya, rewrite that. And then leave Kaguya in, honestly. I think Kaguya is, like... Kaguya as a concept for being beaten is fine. Just remove Kakashi and Sakura from the equation. They should have been caught in the Infinite Tsukuyomi like everyone else. Then that stupid Obito gives his eyes to Kakashi from beyond the grave never happens. And then, like, I don't know, some, like, minor Madara redemption in there somewhere, or just, like, they beat Madara and then Madara's corpse becomes Kaguya or something, I don't know. Someone in chat just says, I would have Sasori kill Sakura. Alright. That's why not everyone would be allowed to have control like that, but I feel where you're coming from, brother.
I like that fight.
Michael, the fight was good, but, like, it was a bit of a waste of Sasori. But,
There's Lady Chiho.
Michael, how incredibly
then who would you have rather Sakura fight then? Because I like that she fought one of the. I mean, I don't know who else did she. It's been so long since I read Shippuden.
Sasori is like the only person that Sakura fights in the entire show other than Kaguya at the end. Which is why it stands out so much. It kind of makes Sasori stand out as like a loser among the Akatsuki, even though he's a really cool character.
Yeah, he's a really cool character, but just like. Who would you switch then with that? Like, who? It's
I would switch Sakura. Is the one I would switch.
Just have Lady Chiho fight with someone else.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't have Sasori die in that instance. I would have him die. Another thing is that if I did a deep dive, like, rewrite of Naruto instead of just, like, minor changes, I would change up how the Jinchuriki went down in general, and probably a lot of the Akatsuki would end up dying to, like, other Jinchuriki is they have like more screen time and more depth put to them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
would
that
be
makes
nice.
sense.
So like it all depends on if you're trying to do minor changes to just like take out some of the stuff you didn't like that you think could have been done better, or if you're trying to do like a reboot style, like let's make some major
true.
changes even though it keeps the core of the overall story. What are your feelings on Neji's death? I think Neji dying was done well and was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that one was solid.
It was alright.
Yeah, was it like it wasn't like Itachi or Jiraiya, like their deaths are perfect. But like Neji's was like it was good and acceptable, and I think it was an okay ending for his character.
How are you gonna fix Kakashi's perfect Susanoo chaos?
I literally just said that wouldn't happen. He would be caught in the infinite Tsukuyomi.
Oh, okay.
The Kaguya
Alright.
section would have been Naruto and Sasuke, and then like maybe Madara would have some part in it if I went like the slight redemption route instead of just he dies route. But like I said, like Sakura and Kakashi, they just get caught in the infinite Tsukuyomi. Like they're not even a part of it.
I don't
I
even
don't know. I like
remember.
that he got the. It's.
Chaos out here ready to fix every anime franchise that has been wrong. Jet, listen, I'm willing to hear what you were about to say, but if you're going to say Kakashi getting a Susanoo you were okay with, that's the kind of opinion you just keep to yourself.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I like, it's legitimately probably, like, other than Madara being, like, turned into Kaguya by Black Zetsu, Kakashi getting his Susanoo is probably the thing I hate most in all of Naruto. It makes no logical sense. It diminishes Sasuke and Madara having their perfect Susanoo. It's just a, like, complete nonsense from an perspective of Obito dying and just being like, yeah, I can just transfer my eyes temporarily through death, which makes no earthly sense whatsoever. And then, like, Kakashi getting Susanoo in general with not even Sharingan eyes, but, like, fake here, have them for, like, 20 minutes Sharingan eyes is just, it's just a load of nonsense. Kishimoto didn't know what he was doing in the entire Kaguya section. He had no idea what he was trying to accomplish.
Alright, now fix Sword Art Online.
I don't know if that
Fixing
can be fixed.
Sword Art Online being fixed is rebooting the entire franchise. You reboot the entire franchise, do exactly what they did in the first 5 episodes, and then keep that energy for 5 more seasons, instead of being like, hey, look, they have a digital AI child now, and also we skipped 80 floors.
Yeah. And then they also don't even get to the top. They're just like, nah, we're just gonna.
Yeah, they
skip all
ended
that.
on, like, floor 75 or something, didn't they?
Something like
Yeah.
that.
That needs an entire redo.
Like, honestly, like, they could have. I don't even remember what the main bad guy's. What's his face's name is, but, like, they could still do, like, the revelation that he's the bad guy, but then have him be, like, faced to be at the top or whatever. Like, why are we breaking the whole friggin' game and just being like, oh, I'll just wipe you out now? It's like,
Sword Art Online's,
Bruh!
like, Sword Art Online's first 13 episodes that encompass that entire first arc was, like, they made an entire anime, and then they took 15% of that anime and made Sword Art Online. There's, like, 85% more of that anime that could have existed that didn't, and it completely ruined it.
Speaking of bad shows that I watched recently, I watched the Netflix version of Resident Evil, which was garbage.
Why did you watch that?
I didn't know anything about it, so I was like, oh, I'll watch it with
Talking about
Adriana.
anime so much, I've just been walking back and forth and filling in awkward-looking sections with my,
It's
Michael, did
so
you change
bad,
this?
man.
no,
Change
that was
what?
there before.
That was
Change
there
what?
before? Oh, I was thinking of this. Never mind.
What's this?
I got confused.
Oh yeah,
This is
I also did get to pet an ostrich.
What?
I got to pet an ostrich. Fun
Was
stuff.
that
Nice.
Ninja Ostrich then?
Yeah, I was about to say, was it the Ninja Ostrich?
I don't know.
Alright, give me another anime to fix, chat. Ah, Jet, I wish you would just shut up. I'm so mad at you now.
Deal with it. I'm the epitome of it doesn't fully work, but I like it anyways.
It cheapens the perfect Susanoo so much, it makes me so mad. I think Digimon Fusion is fun. I don't really think there's anything you can do to... I don't think there's any glaring flaw of Digimon Fusion that would need to be rectified. It just, like, it exists. Like, if you want to, like, make something better than Digimon Fusion, you just make an entirely different Digimon season. Data Squad, again, same thing, like, except it's not fine. It's garbage. Like, just do everything different. Just like my fix for Digimon, like if you want a better Digimon season than season 5 and 6, my fix for you is to watch seasons 1 through 4. That's the fix.
Well, I got another Alpha Shard. That's 2 of them
And
this
then fix
stream.
like Bakugan. You just gotta bring back Masquerade.
Digimon Frontier could be... Listen, I love Frontier, and I think it's really good, and it gets unnecessary hate. 4 could benefit from the other children getting fusion forms, and having them get their fusion forms like during the Dynasmon Crusadermon arc, so it's a little more of them using their fusions instead of just Emperor Greymon and, what's the Garurumon? Magna Garurumon.
So I can't contribute to Legend of Korra because I didn't watch past season 1.
Season 1 was good.
Season 1 was very good. I love season 1.
I heard he says
Korra-
season 2
Korra-
was bad and needs to be fixed.
Season 2 is by far the worst one. It's really bad. I tell people just watch the Wan episodes and nothing else. Season 2 could have been, maybe not fixed, but better if it culminated in Unalaq being like an actual dark avatar, like using all of the elements, instead of just being like a giant demon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I will admit, watching I did go back and rewatch the finale a bit ago of the season 2, and I do admit I do love just the the blast
Giant
of light.
mech battle.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's not. It's not like.
Yeah,
Could've
it's
been
not
worse.
amazing,
It's
but
really.
like,
It's really not fitting in Avatar.
Yeah. Because at least
Avatar
when
would've
Aang
benefited
did
a-
it, that was like with water, not just like spirit
When
energy.
he became, yeah, but he also wasn't fighting another giant
Yeah,
demon
exactly.
creature. He was like moving the ocean. He fused with the ocean spirit.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't even like, even when he was the ocean spirit, like his lower half was the ocean. Like it was just
Right.
connected to water at all times.
Mhm.
And that was very fitting with like his whole spiritual. That was like the most spiritual thing he did in the entire show, to be honest. Anyways, Korra season 2 was pretty garbage. This is a giant Weedle. Oh my goodness.
I
would-
remember what somebody
you-
said how they would fix season 2 was they would have it where Korra didn't get back the elements at the end of season 1, and then season 2 was her kind of interacting with like maybe the ancient original benders, like with it have like go
Line.
hard with the spirit, and then have
It's
it
been
like
too long since I watched that
That
show.
could have been an interesting concept to go with. It also would have been a lot more fitting with Juan's backstory. Juan's
Yeah.
backstory, I'm pretty sure I read, they wanted Juan's backstory to be in The Last Airbender, but they didn't.
Hmm.
And it definitely kind of feels like thrown in Korra, where they were just like, if we don't throw it in here, we're never going to get to do it.
Yeah.
I do feel like if like they really leaned hard into like I don't know, like this be like more of
Yeah,
a
I know that-
spiritual exploration or whatever or something
Yeah,
like that. to
I
help.
do also know that they had issues because Nickelodeon
Yeah.
only ever renewed one season at a time, so
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
know how much
Nickelodeon
story they
screwed
could tell.
them over
Yeah,
so
Nickelodeon
hard.
Yeah.
screwed that
At
show
the-
so
at-
hard.
At the same time, though, like, even with that, like, I don't find much excuse for how season 2 was presented and done.
Yeah,
So-
Season 1 and 3 were really good.
I like 4.
Am
I
I?
mean, I watched all
4
4, but I like
was
4.
fine.
4 was fine. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
okay.
4 was fine. I like, again, I think they, I understand they were trying to go with, like, more futuristic things and all, and every day I thank goodness that they didn't, like, try and, which I'm sure Nickelodeon told them they couldn't anyway, but, like, they didn't ever try and, like, include, like, firearms in any way as they did, like, stuff progressing futuristically.
I mean, they did have like a giant laser cannon, but that's
Yeah, I was
was
about to
cool.
say. I was about to say. See, Jet says it's cool because Jet is the kind of person I hate when it comes to this sort of thing. But like, it's just like season
like Rex.
season 1 was good. Season 2 and 4 and season 3 was really good. Season 2 and 4 they just went too far in a lot of aspects. Like Kavira having a giant literal mech that shoots a laser beam.
I mean, to be fair, like the I don't remember what Amon's followers were called, but
The
like
Equalists.
they already had the Equalists. Like they had like they were starting to make like mechs and stuff. So I feel like Kuvera like making a giant one. It's a little bit of a jump, but like I don't feel like it's completely out of nowhere. Yeah, they did.
They did have mechs. Remember, because
It must have been in like
what's her
one or
name's
two
dad?
episodes because I remember that. Yeah, I remember Sato. I remember them having like the electric gloves and stuff, and they got like more futuristic. I don't remember them having mechs, but that's also
they
stupid.
did.
That's just like
No, that's cool.
The more,
It's like
the
a
more you go into
steampunk
the
thing.
more you go into steampunk and futuristic, the more you lose the. This is nice, Michael. The
Thanks.
more you lose the mystical appeal that Avatar has in general.
Well,
in
it's
my
not. The thing is it's like it's a progression of the world. And that's what I like about it. It is the world moves on and advances, and then you figure out. That's why I also feel like there's the reason why like the spirits there's the spirit conflict also going on in the background is because like yeah there's now technology, and now they have to find the balance of balancing technology and the spirits.
I get
I
that,
like
but my whole thing is like I feel like, and maybe like the Avatar like first seasons are like more modern than I realized, but I feel like it was a bit much too quickly for their like society to progress that much technologically.
I mean, to be fair, like within it's like that's like 100 years. Like Legend of
What
Korra
was
is,
it
like,
really though? Like
It was
Aang was
roughly
like
100
40
years.
when he died.
No. What are you talking about? No? What did
Yes,
Michael
he
just
was.
say? No.
Aang was in like his 40s or 50s.
No,
he
Aang was
wasn't.
in like in his 60s minimum.
I thought the last time,
Korra,
like, I thought we
or
saw him
Katara-
like a. When did? Alright, hold on. Let me look this up.
Katara
'Cause
and
maybe I'm
Zuko are
misremembering.
like 90 years old in the
Yeah,
Legend of Korra, my dude. It's like
Katara
an 80-year gap from Avatar.
So maybe it's not 100, but it's 80. And like the thing
It's not
is
100.
like
It's
look
like
at-
70. It's like 70 to 80 years between the Last Airbender and the Legend of Korra.
Aang died, it says here, at 66, and
In the
Korra's
60s,
like
like I said.
18.
Yeah, minimum. So if Avatar: The Last Airbender ends when Aang is 12, that's 54 years. Korra is 17, 16. That's about 70 years.
You said 100 years.
No, Jet
did
said 100 years. I said
okay,
80.
Alright.
Yeah, I did say 100. 80 still, but the thing is like technology.
It's hard not to
fast.
think of the number 100 because of the 100-Year War. You remember that?
Yeah, admittedly, that was the reason I thought of 100 before.
No, I thought it
realizing
was about
80 made
80,
more
but it's
sense.
about 70. But that's only a decade off. Listen,
thing is, it's
I'm gonna say what I've said about numerous things before when people argue that it makes sense, because that's what you're doing, is arguing that the progression makes sense, and I don't disagree with you. I'm gonna say this: thematic doesn't make good. I just don't like it as much as like how Avatar:
Okay,
Last
then you
Airbender.
don't like it, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I feel like it's a good mesh. The reason why I really liked Legend of Korra when it first came out was I was like, oh, cool. We're going into it's the Avatar world, but now we're going into a steampunk era. And there's also now there's a fan project, I can't remember what it's called.
I don't care
remember.
about fan fiction on this.
But the thing
But,
is it's like I like seeing how the advancement of the world change, like how this world taking these concepts and like how this world develops. That's something I really like about it. So I like that they leaned into steampunk with Legend of Korra, like and it's
I
like
was fine with that with like Republic City in season 1. I don't remember these other mini mechs you're talking about, but like in season
They were
4,
there.
it's ridiculous.
And, like, the
Giant
thing
mech
is,
shooting
like,
a
they-
laser beam, like that's just, I don't want that out of Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's not what makes it special. And makes
That's
it
not
interesting.
Avatar: The Last The thing is like Avatar: The Last Airbender still has all. It's like Legend of Korra is an add-on to Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's not like it doesn't ruin anything that like Aang and the gang had. Like you have all that mysticism and all that stuff. It's like what the world evolving and changing, and how the technology changes with it, and how the impact of the industrialization from the Fire Nation being a war machine for like 100 years, and now having all this technology that then throws them into an industrial revolution. Like that's fascinating and fun. Like,
I
and
disagree.
so, yeah, well, that's your opinion.
It is.
Mhm.
I'm also of the
Oh, what is?
opinion that I didn't like Korra.
Which
So.
is fair.
And, yeah.
I thought it was fine. It was
Season
like-
1
it
and
was
3
alright.
were good. Season 4 was passable. Season 2 was a mess and
I
shouldn't
didn't
have
even
existed
realize
outside
that
the
thing
long
had 4
episodes.
seasons.
Yeah, it did.
Huh.
Yeah, it had 4 seasons.
Well,
I mean, really, all that matters is season 3 of Korra, and it only really matters because Zahir is like possibly the best villain in Avatar.
Zir is a great villain.
Yeah.
incredibly good. Yes, Jet got very heated, Chad.
I don't know. Personally, as you know, as someone who enjoyed Avatar, I wanted to see more of a continuation as an adult
They're
Aang.
making a movie for it, apparently.
Yeah, they're making a movie.
Yeah, they are making a movie. So
In
I don't
place
know.
of the
I'm
Kyoshi
kinda
movie,
torn on
right?
it. I don't know anything about that. I honestly, like, after I read stuff about, like, after I saw, like, the parts of Korra I didn't like, and after I, like, read summaries on, like, the novels and stuff, I'm like, you know what? This might just be a case of where they should have just stopped and called it a day. But,
I would have rather seen the Kyoshi movie.
But
They're still gonna
um,
make it. They just pushed it back.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought they
anyways,
were just gonna
like-
replace it outright.
No,
Yeah,
they're
that's
just doing
what
it
I
out
was
first.
worried about.
I
too.
bought
But I would've
Chucha
liked
the
to see
books, and she said they're pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard the books are solid.
But anyways, like, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's the best cartoon ever made, and it's really, really good. But my least favorite parts of The Last Airbender are the very, very end of it. So I'm like, I'll probably watch a movie that comes out, but I'm kind of just like, you know what, Avatar's kind of done for me anyway. I don't really, like, the more they push it and try and do other stuff, the more I'm like, it just doesn't have the same magic. It just doesn't appeal as much anymore.
Plus, it kind of sucks that some of the creators can be kind of jerks to the fandom.
I have
Really?
no idea
Like-
what
I've
you're
never
talking
heard of
about.
that.
Yeah, I've never heard of
There was
that.
a video that they put out that was effectively a Zutara. Like, they took people's fan works that was Zutara, and it was a whole bashing video about him.
Wow,
Oh, that's
really?
That's weird.
Yes, they
Like,
did
Mike and Bryce
actually.
did that?
Yes, they did.
Wow,
They owned
that's
it.
That's a dick move.
That's crazy.
It was a dick move. Like, they literally took people's hard work, and like, I don't care. Like, you can like not ship like a shipping or a pairing or whatever, but like, don't like take like somebody's like, and it was good art too. Like, looking at the art, I was like, man, this is something that's people poured their heart into, and like they just took it and were like, yeah, no, if you're into Zutara, you're into abusive relationship. I can't even remember what they said fully. It
What?
was awful.
What?
Hello?
That is terrible.
I almost want to go look and it's awful.
That's real scumbag hours right there. Anyways, I really didn't like how they, and I'm sure part of it was, again, like, Nickelodeon tied their hands a bit, but I really didn't like how they, I don't like how they concluded Aang's journey and just gave him a big out at the end of the series. It felt
What,
like
with the,
so, with the spirit bending away Ozai's bending.
That was definitely like that. I'm pretty sure I remember reading specifically that was a lot of because they
Nickelodeon,
couldn't
I'm pretty
show
sure.
anything more than that. Like they couldn't kill him at the end, regardless of
like
if it was
there's
Aang or
gotta
not.
be
Like they just couldn't.
Something that, like, I don't know. There had to have been some way they could have, like, gotten something better, but something where it wasn't Aang just getting away with it, because I feel like so much of Aang's journey was him needing to learn, like, you can't just run away from your problems, or like you, like, and especially with Toph teaching him earthbending, like, sometimes you gotta face your problem head on, you can't run from it. And that was like the crux of a lot of Aang's character for me, was like, you always like find some way to slide out or like run away or don't do what you need to do. And like you need to move past that to like have actual development. But then at the very end they were like, oh, don't worry, dude, this magical turtle out of nowhere that apparently, like, also, like, so much of the show they built up like dragons taught firebending, Badgermo's taught earthbending, but like actually it's lion turtles the entire time. And like this one's gonna just make it where like all of your problems magically go away by touching Ozai's chest at the end.
I mean, I think the reason why it's like it is a compelling, the reason why it's interesting is it at least allows for Aang to have the conflict within the final fight of like struggling against just killing him. And honestly, I find it like, yeah, it would be. I'm fine with
There
like
was
Kilo
no
being
conflict with
Yeah,
that
what's
because
the
he
point
didn't have
if
to
you're
worry
just
about
gonna
it.
change it in the end? There's no
Killing him.
conflict otherwise. Because he got
Well,
out
there's the
scot-free.
conflict between. He didn't get off scot-free. I mean, honestly, I feel like he suffered worse. Anyways.
Honestly, I think...
Suffered worse
No,
than
but he
what?
didn't have to
Man,
like consider killing him really because there was the option to just get rid of his bending.
My man Aang consulted like 6 avatars who all told him, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, man. You gotta,
you gotta
you know...
do it.
You gotta
You know
do
what?
it. And he
Airbending
said,
Avatar
nah.
was like, you gotta do it. Also, like, that makes me think even more that they could have come up with something about Ozai dying, because they ambiguously show Kyoshi murdering Chin.
I think what if
They show him falling into lava in that show. Like,
I
they could have
think-
come up with something.
I think if Nickelodeon had allowed for Ozai to die, they could have done something similar to like the end of what is it called? The Frieza saga, where Goku like tried to not kill him and then he was forced to. Like, he could have taken away his bending, but then was forced to put him down anyway because he was like still like
And
attacking
then
or
Sokka
something.
cuts his head off viscerally with
Yeah.
blood
Dude,
everywhere on
sick.
television.
Sick. That's metal.
Oh, that was something
I
else
don't know, I
really...
still
that was
felt- I
something else
still
I
felt
really...
like-
That was something else Jet, we know, you love everything, and criticizing anything ever is wrong. We get it.
No,
But,
I'm not having a
um,
problem with the criticism of it. I'm just saying why. The thing is you guys are pointing out why you would rather him die, whereas I still think that like the guttural moment of him realizing that all of his power, everything that has given him control and it's enabled him to rule for so long.
No,
is
you're
now
talking
gone.
about Ozai. I'm
That's
not talking
fine,
about
yeah,
Ozai.
that's
I
fine.
don't care about what happened to Ozai. I care about Aang's development is my problem. I'm not sitting here like Ozai didn't die after he burned Zuko's face. That burns me up. Put him in prison. I don't care. I care about Aang being given an out by a magical lion turtle out of nowhere, to where after literally everyone is like, sometimes you have to buck up and like make decisions in life that you might not be okay with. And you can't run from these problems because the 100-Year War and everything else going on, like, obviously, like, Aang as a 12-year-old wouldn't have stopped the 100-Year War, but, like, even from the start of Season 1 in the Storm episode, which is, like, episode 11, they've made such a big deal about how Aang, like, has an issue of running away, and there's an entire episode dedicated to it with Toph teaching him earthbending the first time. I think the episode is called Bitter Works, where it's like, you have to face this head on. You can't do it like how you've been doing, where you run from things or try and avoid problems or come up with some fancy-pantsy solution, I think is like Toph's exact words. They're like, you've got to face it head on and deal with your issue. And then in the season finale, literally every character, Katara, Zuko, Toph, Kyoshi, Kuruk, Yang Chen, all the previous avatars, everyone is like, Aang, this is a responsibility that you have to take up. This is something you have to do. And then they're like, actually, the lion turtle said that I don't, and so I won't. And I just thought that that was a real missed point of trying to get that point across that had felt like, to me, had been pretty built up over 3 entire seasons and was maybe not the complete crux of Aang as a character, but a really big part of him.
I felt like the reason why I'm not upset about like him not having to kill somebody is because I feel like it shows that the strength of his morals were strong enough that even against all obstacles and everybody doubting it, it withstood. Like,
But
and
if
the thing
they
was,
did
is that was
that,
still a challenge. It
But
wasn't like, oh,
listen,
good.
But listen, I think that's wrong. Because sometimes you do, especially like in a 100-year lasting war with a man who burned off his 13-year-old son's face and like all that nonsense, sometimes you have to do something you don't want to do. And that's what all the avatars were trying to say. Roku even has that big moment with Sozin and all of how he was like, I really should have stopped Sozin. Like, I feel like I made a mistake. Like, I really let the world down by not doing more like I should have. And all because I wanted to protect my friendship with Sozin and not go that much against him and all that and whatnot. And Sozin is like, that was a mistake. I should have sucked it up and done my job like I was supposed to. And that's what you need to do, Aang. And it feels like so much of the show. And I've been rewatching. I've rewatched season 1 and then up through episode 5 or 6, I think, in season 2 so far. I'm watching it with Shroom and Lone Wolf on every other Thursday kind of deal and all that. And it feels like a lot of the show builds up to that for Aang specifically, and then in the end they're just like, nah dude, lion turtle. I think that takes away a bit from the overall message that was being built up for 3 seasons and that I thought had been done a lot better. Michael, this is amazing, by the way. My content is so good. For 45 minutes I've just been running around talking and watching you do stuff.
Yeah, it does look pretty good, Michael.
Thanks.
You You did really well in like making like the stuff out of quartz. Wait, what's the
Thanks.
floor?
This is diorite.
Oh!
Doritos?
Yeah, Doritos.
Love Doritos.
Oh,
Nice,
Lone
Lone Wolf, nice!
Lone Wolf!
Hey, that tornado wasn't gonna catch itself.
Nice.
He's not deserving of a capital F, not for that.
And it did that.